my friends, welcome. Thank you for being here tonight. My name is April, if you haven't met yet. And in my class in the last few weeks, well, first, let me back up. This is Mark. He's part of our teacher training, and he's going to be observing. So pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. The last couple of weeks in my class, we've been exploring the Hindu deities from this book, my little book of Hindu deities. And this week, I came across Rudra, and he's the head on the top here, and I'll explain that in just a moment. So Rudra is the first and oldest manifestation of Shiva. There's all kinds of different depictions of Shiva, so this is the oldest version of Shiva. And he sprung from Brahma's forehead in anger, in a fit of anger. And so he was actually known as the roaring god, the terrible god, and the god of storms. And he was known for creating natural disasters and sickness. He brought sickness to gods and to man and to nature. And a couple of weeks ago, we talked about the Hindu Trinity. So that is, the Hindu Trinity. So that's Brahma as the creator, Vishnu is the preserver, and Shiva is the destroyer. And so this is the manifestation of Shiva as the destroyer in that Hindu Trinity. But later on, as time went on in Hinduism, Rudra became softer and known as a caring god and as the lord of animals and patron of hunters. But there's one myth that I wanted to share with you all about Rudra, and there's many, but this one kind of just spoke to me. So it says, Rudra once sat in deep, uninterrupted meditation for thousands of years for the well-being of all creatures. When he opened his eyes, he witnessed the intense suffering and pain of humanity. Overwhelmed with empathy, he shed a few tears, which rolled down his face and fell onto the soil. From the spots where his tears struck, sacred trees grew, bearing seeds known today as Rudraksha. And that is the seeds that you see in malas, and actually it's this. So these like brown kind of bumpy looking seeds, and they're very common in India, these malas made of the Rudraksha seeds. So the teaching in this myth or this story about Rudra is that pain can be converted to protection. And so, Rudra's tears dropped into the soil. They didn't just simply dissolve into nothing. They actually sprouted into something beautiful that helps humans to steady their minds, and it's still practiced today very much in the yoga practice and the Hindu religion. So that's your food for thought to bring onto your mat today. And let's begin in a seated meditation. So you can sit up onto a prop if you'd like, and sit any style that feels comfortable to start. And then close down your eyes or bring a soft gaze down towards the earth in front of you. Sit up nice and tall through your spine and allow your shoulders to soften away from your ears as your sitting bones get heavy. And then take an exhale breath, emptying to the very bottom. And a deep inhalation, filling all the way up to the very top. And an open mouth, releasing breath, exhale. Another breath in and out. One more, deepest breath yet, fill all the way up. And exhale all the way down to the soles of your feet. Now you can start to just breathe in and out through your nose, just steadying and smoothing the breaths. And settling into a deeper breath, a longer breath. And as you connect with your breath, draw your awareness inward and start to scan your awareness through your body. You can start with the toes and gradually make your way to the crown of your head. Moving slowly and mindfully and checking in with each little corner and crevice of your physical body. Just noticing what you have to work with today without judgment or expectation. And just maybe a little sense of curiosity. Maybe there's even some spots within the physical body that are experiencing a little bit of soreness, pain. And maybe there is space for this teaching, this lesson right there. Maybe that pain will transform into something. Maybe it's protection, maybe it's a deeper connection, a deeper understanding, maybe it's a sense of humbling. The invitation today is to just see how this teaching might resonate with you. Maybe it's not necessarily something within your physical body, but maybe it's something bigger. Maybe it is something like grief or vulnerability, like Rudra experienced as he gazed down upon human life. And sometimes when we experience those really deep depths of grief and vulnerability, it can be transformed into deep inner strength. And we don't always know what's on the other side of that grief or that vulnerability when we're in it. But it can be a source of comfort to know that on the other end, there might be something beautiful waiting. And it's really up to us to trust and to transform those feelings of pain and grief or vulnerability, whatever it may be, into something deeper, to something more meaningful, maybe even something beautiful. When you feel ready, gently drop your chin down towards your chest. Allow your eyelids to flutter open. And then gently lift your gaze. And if you're seated cross-legged, go ahead and change the cross of your legs. So opposite leg is in front or on top. And then we'll inhale the arms up to the sky, letting the fingertips touch at the top. And then we'll exhale and just fold forward over your legs, any amount, just so that the hands meet the earth. And you don't have to worry about reaching really far down, rounding through the spine or extending through the shoulders. Just try to find some length through the spine. So reach your heart forward and maybe even energetically sort of grip onto your mat and pull it towards you to find that lengthening. Keep rooting through your sitting bones, and then you can drop your chin down towards your chest and just turn the head a couple times in either direction in a half circle. And then staying low, start to walk your hands over to your right. Maybe stacking the left hand on top of the right. And then again, find that push of the earth down and away from you to root down into your left sitting bone and stretch through your left side body. Try to level out your shoulders, so draw your left shoulder down in line with your right. Take a deep breath into your left ribs. And stay for the exhale. And then start to walk your hands back through center and all the way over to the left this time. Maybe right hand comes up on top of the left. Right hand on left. And then find that gentle push of the earth down and away as you root your right sitting bone. Stretching through the right side body and breathing into your right rib cage. Staying for a full round of breath. And then gently walk back through center. Walk your hands back towards you, and then we'll roll forward, coming into a tabletop position, hands and knees. You're welcome to take your blanket for padding underneath your knees. And we'll stack our joints, hips over knees, shoulders over ribs. Press down into your fingertips, almost like you're clawing at the mat. And with an inhalation, drop your belly towards the earth, lift your gaze and your tailbone, cow pose. Exhale, curl and round the spine, draw the navel up and in, and push the earth away. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze, cow pose. Exhale, curl and round for cat. Take that a couple more rounds and just start to take it at your own pace, allowing your body and your breath to begin to move together, slowing down the body and the movements to match your full and complete breath. And then feel free to move into any movements that your body needs just to start to wake up for our practice this evening. Maybe there's a circle of the hips, or a sway of the hips, a roll of the head, neck, and shoulders. Maybe it's just simply a couple more rounds of cat-cow. And then eventually combine back to center to a neutral tabletop position. And we'll inhale the right arm up to the sky. Exhale, thread it down and under the left, coming in to thread the needle again. You can lower down to rest onto your right temple, your right cheek. And then either come up onto your left fingertips, extend your left arm forward, or wrap it back behind your back. You can choose what you'd like today. But either way, engage the right arm by pressing into the back of the right hand and energetically pull the right arm towards you so you're feeling this plugging sensation into the right shoulder socket. And then breathe into that sensation. So softening tension with breath, creating spaciousness, and just observing as the body opens and receives the pose. If you've taken your left hand somewhere else, bring it back underneath your shoulder, and with an inhalation, right arm up to the sky. This time, make a fist and roll out your wrist a couple times in either direction. And then we'll meet back in tabletop position for a round of cat-cow. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze. Exhale, curl and round the spine. Inhale, back through to center. Reach your left arm up to the sky. Exhale, thread it down and under, palm facing up, lower down. Find a similar variation with your right arm as what you did on the other side. And find that same engagement of the left arm, pressing into the back of the left hand and gently plugging the entire left arm into the shoulder socket. And then send breath into sensation. Then bring right hand underneath the shoulder. Inhale the left arm up to the sky. Make your fist and roll out your wrist a couple times in either direction. Come on back to tabletop position. One round of cat-cow. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale back through to center. And now we'll step the feet back and come into a high plank pose. So you're welcome to come to your knees at any point here. We'll hold for a few rounds of breath, starting to build heat into the body. Try to level out the hips with the shoulders. And then reach back through your heels, forward through the crown of your head, creating a long line of energy through the entire back body. Take a deep breath in. And with your exhalation, engage your belly and lift your hips back and high, coming into downward facing dog pose. Just settle into your downward dog in any way that you like. Pedal out your feet. You can come to stillness. Just take a few rounds of breath and eventually make your way to stillness if you're not already there. And then spread your fingers nice and wide and find that same sensation of pressing the earth down and away like we did in that forward fold. So now this time you're lifting your hips up and back, lengthening through your spine and side bodies, and maybe there's even a little bend in your knees. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, look forward and step forward. Come to the top of your space, standing forward fold, Uttanasana. Bring your feet to hip-width distance or wider and bend your knees generously. You can relax your belly right on top of your thighs and then just relax the crown of your head towards the earth. And maybe here there's a visualization of any pain or suffering or vulnerability or grief that you're currently experiencing, dripping down into the earth, not just dissolving, but transforming into something beautiful. Root down into the four corners of both of your feet. And inhale all the way up to stand. Reach your arms up to the sky. Lift your gaze with you. Exhale, gather the palms to the heart center. Samastitihi. Close down your eyes or bring a soft gaze down towards the earth. Draw your awareness inward and come to whatever intention resonates with you. Maybe it has to do with the story of Rudra, or maybe it's something different. Bring that intention into your heart right now. And then blink your eyes open and extend your arms up to the sky. As you exhale, baby back bend, cactus the elbows, lean back into the space behind you, a little soft bend in your knees. Inhale to reach up tall, Tadasana. Exhale, arms wide, swan dive, Uttanasana, forward fold, touchdown. Inhale to a halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana, hands to the shins, shoulders back, heart forward. Exhale, keep the length as you fold forward. Inhale, rise back up to stand, Tadasana. Exhale, hands to the heart, gather it in. Again, like that, inhale to reach up tall. Exhale, soften the knees, cactus the elbows, lean back, opening up through the heart. Inhale to reach up to the sky, and exhale, arms wide, touch down to the earth. Halfway lift, inhale, lengthen. Fold forward, exhale. Inhale to rise to stand. Exhale, hands to the heart. One more time like that. Inhale, reach up tall, Tadasana, lift the rib cage. Exhale, cactus the elbows, little baby back bend, open up the heart. Inhale to reach up. And exhale to touch down. Inhale, lengthen, halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Release your hands this time, step all the way back, come back into that plank pose. So we've been here before. Allow your body to remember, right? You've got that muscle memory now. And this time, just start to tap into your breathing. Lengthen out the inhalations and the exhalations to support the intensity of the pose. And when you're with your next breath in, we're going to rock forward onto the tiptoes. As you exhale, lower to your knees, hug your elbows in, and then lower to chest and chin. Slide all the way forward onto your belly, tops of the feet down. And then inhale to a little baby cobra pose. Draw your shoulders back onto your back, hug your elbows together, press down into the tops of your feet. Keep that, and exhale, lengthen your forehead to the earth. Inhale to rise back up, baby cobra, press the pelvis down. And exhale, lengthen and lower. One more like that. Inhale to rise up. And exhale to release. Curl your toes under, firm up your belly and your thighs. Inhale, push up to plank or tabletop. Exhale, belly strong, hips high for downward facing dog pose. Just allow a couple rounds of breath to pass through here, coming back to home base. This opportunity to reset. And then with an inhalation, extend your right leg up and back behind you. As you exhale, step forward and through, come to a low lunge. And then lower down to your left knee. Good. Now we're just going to take our hands and interlace the fingers on top of the thigh and then just start to surf in and out of the lunge a couple of times. And then we'll come back to center and bring your blocks to either side of you on the tallest height. And with your inhalation, we'll reach our arms up to the sky. As you exhale, release your right hand to your block and lift your left arm up and over. You can lower the block to a lower level or remove it if it's available in your body, but it's here to support you, but try not to put too much weight into it. So it's just kind of like fingertips are resting on the block. And then lengthen from the left hip all the way up to the left fingertips. And then gently hug your left shoulder blade towards your right, just a little opening in the left side of your heart. Beautiful. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale back through to center, both arms high. Exhale, release your hands now to either side of the right foot. You can take your blocks if you like, and straighten your right leg for half splits, Ardha Hanumanasana. So hips will move back to stack over your back knee. And then bring your front foot halfway in between flexing and pointing. So there's a flex and then a press forward through the ball of the foot. Inhale to a little baby quarter lift, lengthen your spine. Keep that length, then exhale, bow your heart to your toes. Pulse that again, inhale to lift. Exhale to bow. Once more, inhale, rise. And exhale, lower. And now we stay for a breath in. And a breath out. Inhale back into your lunge, bending your knee. Place your hands on the earth and step back, come into plank pose. With your inhalation, once again, we'll rock forward onto the tiptoes and exhale, lower to your belly, either knees, chest, chin like before, or all the way down in one solid piece. Flip the tops of your feet to the earth, and now we'll reach our arms back behind us, interlacing the fingers of the low back. So we'll take a half focus, so keep pressing down into the tops of your feet, and inhale, lift your chest, extending your arms back behind you. Try to keep a little soft bend in your elbows, just a little micro bend, and think about hugging the heels of your palms together. Lengthen the back of your neck, gazing down a little bit in front of your mat. Take another inhalation, rise up, and then exhale, lower halfway down. Inhale to lift up, reach back. Exhale, lower halfway. Once more, inhale, lift up, reach back. Exhale, lower all the way down, hands underneath the shoulders. Curl your toes under and make your way to downward facing dog pose. Again, you can come to plank or tabletop, choose. And then enjoy a couple of deep breath cycles as you arrive in your downward facing dog pose. With your next inhalation, extend your left leg back and high behind you. Exhale, step forward and through, come to your lunge and lower down to your right knee this time. And we'll interlace the fingers on top of the left leg this time, and a couple times surfing in and out of that lunge. Just notice what's different on this side. And then eventually come to center. You can place your blocks again to your sides and reach your arms up to the sky. Exhale, left hand to the block, right arm up and over. Readjust your block as needed, so you're not putting a lot of weight in the block, but just kind of dangling the fingertips for balance. And then lengthen from your right hip all the way up to your right fingertips. And this time, right shoulder blade gently hugs towards the left, opening up the right side of the heart. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Inhale, rise through center, both arms high. Exhale, release your hands to your blocks to the earth and straighten your left leg, half splits, Ardha Hanumanasana. Find that midpoint between flexing and pointing, and then we'll inhale to that quarter lift, lengthen your spine. Exhale, keep the spine long, reach your heart to your toes as you bow forward. Inhale, rise back up. Exhale to lower. Once more, inhale to rise. And exhale to lower. And stay for the breath in and the breath out. Good. Inhale, come forward into your lunge, bend your knee, place your hands, and go ahead and once again step back into your plank pose. Inhale, glide forward onto your tiptoes, and exhale, slowly lower to your belly with control. Hug your elbows in. Move the tops of your feet down, and once again, we'll reach our arms back behind us. This time, the opposite interlace. Inhale to lift the chest, half focused, and then you choose. If you'd like, you can start to lift your feet as well, keeping the legs extended. You can bring the big toes together to touch if that's available, or if that's too much on the low back, separate them wide. Extend forward through your heart, the crown of your head, and back through your toes. Take a breath in. Once again, exhale, lower halfway. Inhale, lift up high, reach back and forward, and exhale halfway down. Once more, inhale to lift. Exhale, lower all the way down, release hands underneath shoulders, and find your way to your downward facing dog pose. Take a deep breath in, and a clearing breath out. Let's do that again. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out through the mouth. Once more, breath in. And breath out. Good. With your next inhalation, extend your right leg back and high behind you. Exhale, step forward and through, come to low lunge. This time we'll inhale, rise up, high crescent lunge. So back knee will stay lifted. But let's place a little bend in that back knee to start, and then draw your right hip back, left hip forward. Keeping that, then start to straighten your back leg. Any amount, you might keep a little bend. Lift your rib cage up and away from the hips, start to lift your gaze. And now we'll come into that baby back bend. Cactus the elbows, maybe bend that back knee. Inhale to rise back up, high crescent lunge. Exhale, release your hands to the earth or a block. And then we're gonna lift the left leg, coming into standing splits. Good. So balancing on the right foot, let that be your base, but allow the left leg to support you as well. Kick up through the heel, flex the foot, and rotate pinky toe down, inner thigh up. Come to a halfway lift, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, bow forward and take your left heel a little bit higher. One more breath in. As you exhale, gently start to step back, landing in a low lunge. And then we'll inhale right back up to that crescent lunge. Good. Now we're going to exhale and spin open into warrior two. Back foot grounds down, parallel or so to the back of your mat. Right toes point forward, nice wide stance in between the legs. Let your shoulders soften as you extend through the fingertips. And then rotate your belly button towards your left thigh. Good, now we're going to straighten the right leg, setting up for triangle pose, Trikonasana. So just a little tiny micro bend in the right knee. And then we'll reach forward with the inhalation, reach to the front of the room, right to the point where you want to tip. And then release the right hand down, left arm up to the sky. Right hand can come to the shin or a block inside of the right leg. Again, try to keep a little micro bend in the right knee and then press down into the ball of the right foot, the outer edge of the left. And then start to rotate the left side of your heart open. See if you can stack your left hip over your right. And then turn your gaze in any direction that supports your neck. That might even be down towards the earth. With your next inhalation, we'll rise up and back for reverse triangle pose. So legs stay the same. Right arm up to the sky. Reach from the right hip to the right fingertips. Stay for one more inhalation. Breathe into the right rib cage. And then as you exhale, cartwheel your hands down to the earth. Rebend your knee and come to low lunge. And then step back into plank pose. Good, inhale, glide forward onto your tiptoes, and this time you choose lower to your belly or halfway for Chaturanga Dandasana. Use your knees if you need. Inhale for upward facing downward cobra, lift the heart. And exhale, roll over your toes, lift your hips high, downward facing dog pose. Good, nice work, my friends. You can modify that vinyasa as needed. You can take any of the variations that we have tried on during practice. You can try something different. You can always skip it. And just a reminder that this is your body, your practice, and you know your body best. I'm here to offer guidance, suggestions, things to try out, but please listen to your intuition and do what feels right for you. So another breath here. And then with an inhalation, reach your left leg up and back behind you. Exhale, step forward and through, come to your low lunge. And with an inhalation, rise up, high crescent lunge pose. So again, we'll take that little bend in the back knee to start, and then square off your hips, left hip back, right hip forward. See if you can keep that as you start to straighten through the back leg. Take a breath and lift up through the rib cage. And then exhale, cactus the elbows, little baby back bend, maybe bend that back knee. Inhale, rise back up, crescent lunge pose. And exhale, spin open into your warrior two. Yeah, so find your footing on this side. Nice wide stance in between the feet. Press down into the outer edge of the right foot, the ball of the left foot. And then find that little gentle turn of the belly button towards the right thigh this time. Good, now we're going to start to straighten the left leg, preparing for triangle pose, Trikonasana. Inhale to reach forward, reach. Exhale to tip over. Release the left hand as you reach your right arm up to the sky. Yeah, little micro bend in the left knee this time. Keep pressing down into the ball of the left foot. And then tuck your left hip under as you peel the right hip over, and maybe even start to turn the rib cage up and over, so the right side of the rib cage opens. With your next inhalation, reach up and back, reverse triangle pose. Reach the left arm high, long line of energy from the toes all the way up to the fingertips. Stay for one more inhalation. Exhale, ride the breath down, rebending the knee, low lunge. Step back into your plank pose and flow through your vinyasa of choice, or skip it and come to downward facing dog pose. We'll be in downward facing dog, and there's no rush to get there. Once you arrive, take a couple rounds of breath. Good, so now we're gonna flow through that sequence, one time, breath to movement. So first, just exhale the breath empty to the very bottom. Good, big inhalation. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, extend your right leg back and high behind you. Exhale, step forward and through, come to low lunge. Inhale, rise up, high crescent lunge pose. Exhale, cactus the elbows, baby back bend, lean back. Good, inhale, rise back up, crescent lunge. Exhale, spin open into warrior two, back foot grounds down. Inhale to straighten the right leg, and exhale, reach forward and hinge, triangle pose, Trikonasana. Inhale for reverse triangle pose, reach up and back. Exhale, release your hands to the mat, low lunge, step back. Lower to your belly or halfway, Chaturanga Dandasana, elbows in. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra, shine the heart through. Exhale, downward facing dog, lift your hips back. Beautiful work, my friends. Take a deep breath here. Exhale, let it go. And again, like that, inhale, left leg back and high. Exhale, step forward and through, low lunge. Inhale to rise up, high crescent lunge pose. Exhale, cactus the elbows, lean back, baby back bend, open up your heart. Inhale to crescent lunge, reach your arms to the sky. And exhale, spin open, come to your warrior two pose. Inhale to straighten the left leg. And exhale, reach forward and hinge, triangle pose. Right arm reaches high. Good, inhale to reverse triangle pose, reach up and back. Exhale, cartwheel your hands to the earth, low lunge, step back. Take your vinyasa or not, we'll meet in downward facing dog pose. Good, and then once you arrive in your downward facing dog pose, take a breath. And then lower down to your knees and take child's pose. Knees wide, big toes to touch, forehead to earth. Moment to pause. I may walk by and offer some hands-on adjustments. If you prefer to keep your practice internal and not be touched, just give me a wave. Relax the crown of your head towards the earth. So allow all of this energy that we've begun to stir up to just get to settle, to integrate. Feel ready, we'll be back in downward facing dog. Curl your toes under and lift your hips back and high. Good. Take a breath here, inhale. At the bottom of your exhalation, look forward, step or lightly hop, come to the top of your space, forward fold, Uttanasana. Setting up your feet for chair pose, Utkatasana. You can have your feet at hip-width distance or big toes to touch with a little space between the heels. Bend your knees, sit your hips low, and inhale, arms up to the sky. So try to rotate your weight back into your heels, toes are light. Keeping that, sit a little lower into your hips and lift a little higher through your heart. Let your shoulders soften away from your ears. And then we're going to keep the low body where it is, and we're going to take the right arm underneath the left for eagle arms, crossing at the elbows, maybe bringing palms together or grabbing for the shoulders. And then we'll lift the elbows up and away from the shoulders, reach the wrists away. And now ground down into the sole of your left foot, lift your right leg and wrap it over for full full ego pose. You can take the single wrap at the knee, or you can have a little kickstand or wrap all the way around. Either way, try to hug muscle to bone, keep lifting the elbows, and keep drawing your right hip back. Good, and then eventually we're gonna unwrap the right leg, unwrap the arms, and come to a one-legged Tadasana. So really ground down into the sole of your left foot, and then we're just gonna start to tip forward, beginning to bring the right leg back behind you, and eventually we'll land back in that standing splits pose. Yeah, so hands can be on the earth or a block. Take a breath in here, lift up high through that right heel, and then exhale, we're gonna bend the right knee behind the left for a Shiva squat. Inhale to reach it back up, standing splits. Exhale, left knee and right knee behind left, Shiva squat. Inhale, right leg high, and once more, exhale. Inhale to reach it high. Exhale, big step back, land in low lunge, step back into plank pose, and take your vinyasa over to your belly or halfway chaturanga dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good, deep breath in, and deep breath out. Look forward, step or lightly hop, top of your space, forward fold. Set up your feet once again for chair pose. Bend your knees, sit your hips low. Inhale, arms to the sky. Good, so hips low, heart high. Hug your navel up and in towards your spine. This time we'll take the left elbow underneath the right, crossing at the elbows, maybe bringing palms together or grabbing for shoulders. Inhale to lift the elbows up in line with your shoulders. Exhale to reach the wrists away. Ground down into the sole of your right foot. And start to wrap your left knee up and over, Garudasana, eagle pose. You can take the one cross, the kickstand, the full cross. And then draw your left hip back, hug muscle to bone, squeeze everything. Good, now slowly, with control, we're gonna unwrap and come to one-legged Tadasana, arms to the sky. And then slow and steady, start to kick your left leg back behind you, and slowly lower fingertips to the earth. Standing splits. Good. Take a breath in, pick up high through your left heel, and then exhale, left knee behind the right, Shiva squat. Inhale, reach it back and high. Exhale, Shiva squat. Once more like that. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale to standing splits. Exhale, big step back, landing in low lunge. And then step back into your plank pose and take your vinyasa. Move slowly, move mindfully, move with the breath. And enjoy a couple of deep, nourishing breaths in your downward facing dog pose. Good. One final little push here. So for your next inhalation, reach your right leg up and back behind you. Exhale, step forward and through, come to a little lunge. Now we'll set up our feet for warrior one. So take a step in with your left foot so you can ground the sole of your foot about 45 degrees. Bend into your right knee and reach your arms up to the sky. Good, so same thing that we did in warrior two. Rotate your belly button towards your right thigh. And then lift your rib cage up and away from your hips. Let your shoulders soften away from your ears. And then we'll release our hands behind the low back, interlace your fingers. Hug the heels of your palms together. Inhale, lift up through the heart, extend your palms down towards the floor. And then exhale, humble warrior. Bring your right shoulder inside of your right knee. Arms can extend up and overhead any amount, or you can rest them at the low back. Just be mindful of locking out your elbows. And then relax your head, relax your jaw. Keep opening the right knee towards the pinky toe edge of the right foot. Take another breath in here. And then exhale, hands to the low back first, and then all the way down to the earth or the blocks on either side of your right foot. So we're gonna come into pyramid pose now. So straightening the right leg, and then I would recommend shortening the distance between the heels. Take a little step in. And then draw your right hip back, left hip forward. Inhale, come to a halfway lift, lengthen your spine. Keep that length in your spine and exhale, bow forward, heart to the toes. Once again, inhale, lift up. Exhale to lower. Once more, inhale to lift. And exhale to lower. Stay here for the breath in. And the breath out. Now we're just going to turn to the left, spin to the long edge of your mat for a wide-legged forward fold. You can step your feet quite a bit wider here. Bring the heels in, toes in, heels out. So your feet are slightly pigeon-toed, or feet are about parallel. And then we'll inhale to a halfway lift. And as you exhale, start to bend forward, but reach your arms out in front of you like a wide-legged downward facing dog pose. And then you can kind of grip onto the earth and the floor here and sort of pull it back towards you, that same loop that we've been working, so that you can feel that lengthening in the side bodies as your hips move back. Relax your head, relax your neck, relax your jaw. And when you come back to that visualization of any grief, any pain, any vulnerability that you're experiencing is dripping off the crown of your head and transforming into something beautiful. Maybe it's strength, maybe it's protection, like in Rudra's story, or maybe it's something entirely different. Maybe it's not even something that you know yet. Bring your hands back underneath your shoulders and inhale to a halfway lift. As you exhale, crawl towards the front of your mat, ending up in a low lunge, and then step back, either downward facing dog or flow through your vinyasa. We'll meet you downward facing dog as you feel ready. With your next inhalation, left leg up and back. Exhale, step forward and through, come to your lunge. Set up your feet for warrior one, bringing the sole of the right foot to the earth at about 45 degrees. Bend your left knee and reach your arms up to the sky. Rotate belly button towards your left thigh. Lift your rib cage, hug your navel in, and then soften your shoulders as you start to open up through your heart. Release your hands back behind you. Take the opposite interlace. Hug the heels of your palms together and inhale, lift through the heart as you extend your fist down towards the earth. And then start to bow forward, humble warrior, left shoulder inside of left knee. So the goal here is to keep the spine long, reaching the heart forward, but then relax the head, neck, and jaw. And again, your arms can lift up and overhead any amount. They can also rest at the low back. Just make sure that you're still breathing here, nice and smooth. And then eventually we'll release the hands to the low back and then to either side of the left foot, setting up for pyramid pose in our Skotanasana. So reorient your feet so they're a little bit closer. And then draw your left hip back, right hip forward, straightening your left leg. Inhale to a halfway lift. And exhale, keep that length and fold forward, heart to the toes. Pulse that twice more. Inhale. Exhale. One more like that. Inhale. Exhale, fold. And now we'll stay for the breath in and the breath out. Then we're just going to spin to the right, coming to the opposite long edge of the mat, wide-legged forward fold. You're starting to come up to Konasana. Set your feet nice and wide, and that pigeon pose, toes and heels out. And then we'll inhale once again to that halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward, and now start to walk your hands underneath you and away. So fingertips point away. And then see if you can find that grip of the earth. Pull it towards you. Your elbows will bend, almost like trying to round the arms, and the weight will come forward. So basically opposite what we did before. Relax the crown of your head. And if you shake the head, yes, shake it down. And breathe really deeply into your back body. to a halfway lift. Exhale, turn forward towards the front of your mat, low lunge, step back. Either plank pose to a vinyasa or downward facing dog pose. Last vinyasa if you'd like it. And then we're gonna meet in child's pose. So once again, knees to the earth. Take them wide or narrow, you choose. Arms can extend forward or back. Whatever feels most nourishing, most comforting in this moment. Allow your awareness to turn inward. So there's a lot of really deep concepts in these stories of the Hindu deities. And they have many meanings, but ultimately they're teachings for life. We can come to our yoga mats and practice these really big, deep concepts in a place of safety and security. But the ultimate goal is that we can use these teachings for the broader things in life so that we can really apply them in the moments when we need them most. When we really are experiencing those times of deep grief, pain, vulnerability. Of course, it's inevitable in this human experience. When you feel ready, go ahead and rise up, come to a seat with your legs extended out in front of you. And if you like, you can sit on the edge of a folded blanket. And just give your legs a little shake, maybe a little kind of brush massage. And then we're going to bend the right knee, bring the sole of the foot to the earth, either right knee. Inside of the left leg or to the outside of the left leg if that's available. And then you can stay here or you can kind of lean to your left, bend your knee, and bring the heel towards the other knee. Good. So from here, sit up nice and tall through your spine, and then we're going to take a twist to the right. So either wrap the arm around the knee or the elbow outside of the knee. And just breathe here with your twist, finding length and space on the inhalations. A little bit of depth, softening on the exhalations. Gently unwind. Come to the opposite side for a counter twist. One breath in. And inhale back to center. And then switch out your legs. And then sit up nice and tall, inhale, exhale, turn to your left, either hugging the knee or hugging the elbow. So you can start to lengthen your exhalations here. So if your inhale is 4 counts, your exhale is 6. And gently unwind. Turn to the opposite side, counter twist. One breath in and out. Inhale back to center. Unhook your legs and draw the soles of your feet together to touch for Baddha Konasana. And bring the heels in close to the groin. And then interlace your fingers to the outside edges of your toes. If that's available, you can also grab for the shins. And then we'll rise up tall through the spine. Yeah, and then just butterfly your knees a couple times. And then eventually you can allow that to release and start to bow forward. But same thing we've been working throughout practice. Keep your spine long. Reach your heart to your toes and let the bend come from the hips rather than the upper back or the shoulders. But you can relax your head, maybe even explore some neck movements here. Sort of taking that half circle again. Nice deep full breaths, breathing into your back body. And gently rise back up. Hands to the outer thighs, draw your legs together. Then bring them wide, about mat width distance. Hands back behind you. Just gently sway the knees side to side. And then come back to center, extend your legs out in front of you, arms out in front of you, and slowly lower down onto your back. Take your blanket to the side if you have it. Take a round of bridge pose, so bend your knees, bring your heels in front of your sitting bones. Rest your hands next to your hips, palms facing down. Inhale, lift your hips. You can interlace your fingers underneath your low back if that's available, tucking your shoulder blades underneath you. Press the fist down towards the earth if you have that, and then root your heels down and forward. So it's like you're pressing your shins forward. Try to lift your heart towards your chin away from your chest, really stabilizing and strengthening through your neck. Take one more inhalation. Exhale, slowly lower your hips down towards the earth. And then bring the soles of your feet together to touch. Once again, knees open wide, Supta Baddha Konasana this time. Hands can rest on the low belly, or one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart. Soften your eyelids, turn your gaze inward, and just take a moment to feel. Just to check in and just notice, right? There's nothing to judge, there's no wrong answers. You're just observing, gathering information, and maybe getting a little curious about what's going on. And then bring hands to your outer thighs. Close up your legs and draw your knees into your chest. And circle out your knees a couple times in either direction. And then we're going to place the feet back down to the earth, knees bent. Across your right knee over your left this time, almost like you're sitting cross-legged in the chair, or you can take the full eagle wrap, wrapping your right toes behind your left calf. And we're going to extend our arms out to the sides into a T shape or a cactus shape. Move your hips to the right and let your knees fall to the left. So this is going to be a pretty deep twist with the leg cross. If it feels like too much, just uncross your legs and stack your legs. So like a traditional supine twist. And allow your gaze to turn in any direction that feels comfortable on your neck. And just allow your body to really fall heavy with gravity. Breathe in deeply. Exhale fully. Gently unwind your twist. Come back through the center, unhook your legs. Hug your knees into your chest, or roll them out a couple times in either direction. And then we'll do the same thing on the opposite side. So feet to the earth, knees bent. This time cross the left knee over the right. Maybe take the full eagle wrap if you like. Arms out to the sides. Move your hips to the left and knees to the right. Try to release the effort, release the work. Just let gravity do the work for you. Unwind your twist, come back to center, unhook your legs, and knees into chest one last time. Give yourself a nice big squeeze, and then squeeze everything into a tiny little ball. So bring your forehead up to your knees, scrunch up your face, squeeze your hands into fists, squeeze your feet into little balls, squeeze, 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 and take another sip of air in, and then exhale to release everything and come into your final rest, Shavasana. Beautiful work, my friends. Now is the time to soak in all of the nourishment, all of the benefits of your hard work. So set yourself up so that you can completely relax here. Let your feet fall open towards the outer edges of your mat. Allow your palms to face open towards the sky. And exhale the breath, empty to the bottom. One more big breath in here. Exhale it out. Just release any control over your breathing. Allow your body to breathe itself without any effort. thoughts to drift into the background. Just blend with the background sounds.
Can you let go? Feel it in your soul. We are free. You are free. Love is free. God is free. Can you let go? Feel it in your soul. We are free. You are free. Love is free. God is free. Can you let go? Feel it in your soul. We are free. You are free. Love is free.
Softly and sweetly start to invite in a deeper breath. Allow your awareness to begin to re-emerge into your body. Bring some gentle movements into the fingers and the toes, wrists and ankles. Reach your arms up and overhead, take a full body stretch. And then once more, gather your knees into your chest. Give yourself a big squeeze and a moment of gratitude. A moment to thank yourself for making it here today to nurture and care for yourself. So that eventually you can step off of your yoga mat and into the world and shine just a little bit brighter. Roll to either side, your right or your left, into a fetal position. And gently, with the help of your hands, rise to a comfortable seat. And we'll close up our practice together today with a breath and an om. And fold your palms together in front of your heart, Anjali Mudra. Sit up nice and tall through your spine. And exhale the breath empty to the bottom. And breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. And breathe in for om. Bow your head sweetly towards your hands, bowing to yourself and to each other, acknowledging your work. The light and the teacher within me honors and bows to that same light and teacher within each one of you. Namaste. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Nice work, and let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, have a wonderful evening, and I hope to see you next Monday.
Thank you.
You're welcome.